Seaweed represents perhaps the most unfamiliar food on this list for most Western eaters, and I want to address both the remarkable nutritional benefits and the legitimate challenges in incorporating sea vegetables into a Mediterranean dietary pattern. First, the nutritional profile is genuinely extraordinary. We're talking about one of the few reliable plant sources of iodine, which is essential for thyroid function. Many people, particularly those avoiding iodized salt in favor of sea salt or those following plant-based diets, may have marginal iodine status. Seaweed can address this, and this is a critical warning, the iodine content varies wildly between seaweed types and even batches. Kelp and kombu contain extremely high iodine levels, while nori contains moderate amounts. Excessive iodine intake can actually trigger thyroid dysfunction, particularly in individuals with underlying thyroid conditions. The mineral content beyond iodine is impressive: calcium, magnesium, iron, and a range of trace minerals often lacking in land-based foods. The polysaccharides in seaweed, particularly alginates and fucoidins, show prebiotic properties, meaning they feed beneficial gut bacteria. There's also emerging research on these compounds having potential anti-inflammatory and even anti-tumor properties, though we're in early stages of understanding clinical significance. The umami flavor is powerful. Seaweed contains natural glutamates that create that savory depth. From a practical Mediterranean perspective, this means seaweed can reduce the need for added salt while still providing satisfaction and flavor complexity. This is genuinely valuable for people managing hypertension who find low-sodium food bland and unsatisfying. Implementation requires some cultural adaptation. Crumbling toasted nori over salads adds a mineral boost and this interesting salty-savory note without actually adding much sodium. Creating a seaweed salad with wakame, olive oil, lemon, tomatoes, and cucumber bridges Asian and Mediterranean flavors in a way that's quite successful. The acidity from lemon and tomatoes balances the sea-like flavor of the wakame. Cooking kombu with legumes is a traditional Japanese technique that has practical benefits. The glutamic acid may help tenderize beans and improve digestibility, while infusing minerals into the cooking liquid. You add a piece of kombu to the pot, simmer with the beans, then remove it. The beans taste richer without tasting like seaweed. Now let's address the very real challenge. Many people find seaweed off-putting initially. The flavor is unlike anything in Western cuisine, described variously as fishy, ocean-like, or simply weird. Starting with small amounts is crucial. Nori, which many people know from sushi, is probably the most approachable. It has a relatively mild flavor when toasted and crumbled. Wakame in soup is another gentle introduction. The seaweed becomes tender and the soup broth dilutes the intensity. There are legitimate concerns to consider. Some seaweed, particularly that harvested from polluted waters, can accumulate heavy metals including arsenic and cadmium. Choosing seaweed from clean water sources and organic certification when possible mitigates this risk. Additionally, the very high fiber content can cause digestive distress if you're not accustomed to it. Bloating and gas are common initially. Starting with small amounts and increasing gradually allows the gut microbiome to adapt. For individuals with kidney disease, the high potassium content in seaweed can be problematic, and the iodine can be dangerous for those with certain thyroid conditions. This isn't a food to add liberally without considering medical conditions. From a Mediterranean perspective, it's worth noting that coastal Mediterranean cultures have eaten some sea vegetables historically. Greek latimono with seaweed isn't traditional, but it's not entirely foreign to the concept of using what the sea provides. The key is approaching seaweed as a condiment or minor ingredient rather than a major component, at least initially, allowing flavors and nutrients to integrate without overwhelming dishes or palates.